Let's actually dive into the comparisons between the Philippines and these countries.
Okay.
A lot of us, like foreigners and expats that are looking at where to move to in Southeast Asia for a good cost of living, we want to compare them. Should we live in Thailand? Should we live in the Philippines?
Yeah.
So let's start with Thailand and the Philippines.
So we're talking cost of living?
Let's talk, cost of living.
Yeah, cost of living.
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting. Some people might be surprised by this, I'm not sure, but Thailand's cheaper. So Thailand's actually considerably cheaper than just about any country, actually. Thailand and Vietnam are the cheapest, but so Thailand versus Philippines, accommodation for what you get in Thailand is the best. So you're going to spend less money in Thailand for what you get on accommodation. Food's also cheaper.
Is it better?
I would say Thailand's food is the best.
Oh, it's healthier for sure.
I would say Thailand's food is better than any of the food, not just Philippines, but it's like, I think Thai food is the best food. In all of Asia.
Okay.
So actually Thai food might be the best food in the world. I don't know. It's very, very good. So yeah, food, accommodation. I guess like Philippines is interesting because I wasn't expecting it to be as expensive as it is. Like I see a lot of videos where people are like living on, like I've seen videos as low as $500 a month. People live on $500 a month. I'm not saying that they're lying. I'm certainly not like saying that they're lying or anything. I'm just saying like I would have a very hard time living on $500 a month in the Philippines. Like in fact, I think it would be more like surviving.
Even in Thailand, wouldn't that
It'd
be
be
difficult
very
in
hard.
Thailand?
It'd be also very hard. Yeah. So I've noticed that food and accommodation in Philippines is more expensive than in Thailand. Actually, more expensive than other places in Southeast Asia. Not including Singapore. Singapore is extremely expensive. Like actually I think Singapore is the most expensive, even more expensive than Japan and Korea. So I know you said talk about Thailand and Philippines, and I kind of went on a tangent, but So
and that's why I'm assuming you were in Singapore for only 2-3 days.
2 days, exactly.
But and also at the same time, it's like when you're in Singapore, it's just so I guess perfect. So
it's
you don't
perfect.
Have to be
Singapore
there
is amazing. I will be back. I will be back. It's very expensive there.
Super. So cost of living in Thailand is considerably more affordable than the Philippines.
I would say so.
A lot of us,
maybe 20%, maybe 20% more.
Because when I was looking at like property prices in Thailand, I'm like, there's these beautiful modern villas on the beach, and it only costs like $400, $500 per month with a pool in it. And I go here, we're here in the Philippines, and like I don't sugarcoat anything on the channel. We talk a lot of good about BGC and whatnot, but you do not get that kind of value here in the Philippines compared to Thailand. And that's just the reality. But one thing that I think a lot of our followers see is considerably better in the Philippines is, of course, language. How has that been for you?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. So there are really two main reasons why I've spent the most time, well, three, I should say. Three reasons why I've spent the most time in the Philippines, and three reasons why I would make the Philippines a base out of any country. And the big one is the language. So English is one of the national languages in the Philippines, which is huge. I've never had any language issues here. Can I go through the other three?
Of course.
Okay, so language is a big one. The other one is the very friendly visa situation for, especially if your nationality is American. You can stay here for a very long time legally on a tourist visa. And then the third one is just the friendliness of the people. And I know like everybody says that, but it's really true. Like if you've never been to the Philippines, it's shocking how friendly people are. And how like welcoming people are. So those are the three things that, you might spend a little bit more in the Philippines, but honestly, it really makes sense. It really makes sense. That is another thing, though, actually, that now that I'm talking about this, visas are more expensive in Thailand.
Really?
So if we're comparing Thailand and the Philippines, I would say visas are more expensive.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I mean, so like if you want to stay in Thailand for a long time, you can buy an elite visa, but that's 900,000 baht, which is like $26,000.
And how long does that get you?
5 years. 5 years.
That's it?
Yeah, so that's kind of very expensive.
That's pricey, yeah.
It's pricey. You can also do an ed visa, an education visa, and that's I believe that will cost more than renewing your tourist visa here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
Because what a lot of our my friends do here is like they just stay here in the Philippines, and once their tourist visa expires and they need to reset it, they just took a quick flight out back to
go back home.
U.S. or back home, or to any nearby Asian country.
Absolutely.
And you only have to be out of the country for a day, and then you can come back to the Philippines. But anyways, so yeah, cost of living in Thailand is a lot more affordable. I think the visas is probably the only exception to that.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think value in Thailand and Vietnam is a lot better.
Yeah, it's insane.
A lot better.
It might be like, it's hard to find another place in the world that would beat Thailand and Vietnam.
Yeah. But that brings me actually to my next point. So value in Thailand and Vietnam is great, but in the beaches and the provinces, but like how do the major cities compare in Thailand to like BGC, Philippines?
So when I was considering a base, for myself in Asia, it really came down to Bangkok and BGC. And Chiang Mai is really cool, but I personally wouldn't live in Chiang Mai is a city in Thailand. I personally wouldn't live in Chiang Mai because the infrastructure there is not, you pretty much need a motorbike. Like you need a motorbike in Chiang Mai. The cities in Thailand, for me, the one that I'm most impressed by is Bangkok. And a lot of people would say the same thing. I would say that the cities are a bit better in Philippines. Even though Manila gets like a bad rap. I think the reason why Manila gets a bad rap is because it's rapidly developing. And I also think like there are certainly places in Manila that you don't want to find yourself, like Tondo, but you'd still probably be fine. You'd still probably be fine in Tondo. I'm not saying you should do that, but like people are just very friendly here. So like I would probably give cities the edge in Philippines because we have places here like BGC and Makati and Ortigas that are all part of the Manila metro area.
And we'll eventually get into like why you ended up moving to BGC, and I don't know if you want to release it on, but like you're actually considering making BGC your home base, right? We'll get into that more, but just to wrap up comparisons with these countries, another country that a lot of expats and especially digital nomads are debating with the Philippines is Bali. So how was your experience in Bali?
So Bali, can I also say, like I'm going to talk about Bali in a second, but I will say I do need to give this one extra point to Thailand, which is the metro system in Thailand. So one thing that I don't like about Manila is the metro system doesn't go through BGC. So
Not yet.
It will. But so like public transportation here is a little bit challenging. Okay.
And by the way, savvy expats, if you're planning on pursuing your dream life in the Philippines but you don't know where to start, nor do you have access to reliable information or trustworthy contacts, I have just the thing for you. It's the new year, the season of giving just passed, so I created a free 15-step checklist which holds the key to discovering your new life in the Philippines. Let's be real, very few people cover how to open up a bank account here, where to get a SIM card, let alone even the health insurance plans that you should consider as an expat, and just the basic steps that it takes to have a successful move here. And so this checklist essentially lays down the clear-cut action steps that you need to take upon arrival for a successful move here. So if you want access to this free checklist, check out the link in the description down below. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.